Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be showing you how I'm raising my chicks. So what I'm going to go through is the different things that you need to have set up before your chicks get there. I'm also going to include part of the journey of getting the chicks, as well as what chickens I ended up purchasing and my reasonings behind why I purchased those chickens. So I'm excited for this journey, and I'm going to be sharing weekly videos on the updates of the progress of the chickens. I'm going to show you the setup that I have for my chicks. So first thing you need is some type of container to keep your chicks in. I bought a 100-gallon tank from Tractor Supply Co. It was on sale, and so that's what I chose to put my chicks in. I only have 7 chicks, so this is really big for 7 chicks. But keep in mind that depending on how many chicks you have, you'll have to consider how much space you'll need. The next thing that you're going to need is some type of shavings or something to put in the bottom of your container, and so this is going to help keep moisture out of the container when the chicks poop and things. So I went to a local feed store and bought these pine shavings, and I think this whole thing was only $7, so it's really cheap. Then you need 3 additional things. So one of the main things that you need is a brooder of some sort. So this is what's called a heat plate brooder. You can also use a heat lamp. I chose the heat plate brooder because it's safer and it's not a fire hazard. So how this works is this is actually plugged in right now and it's hot on the bottom. So when you touch it, I can touch it with my hand, but the idea is that the chick's back actually hits the top of the plate, and that's what warms them. What I like about this brooder is that whenever I want to raise and lower it as the chicks get bigger, all I have to do is press in this little lever here, this button, and then I can just easily move this up and down. So I actually have this set so that one side is higher than the other, so it kind of is a heat gradient rather than being one solid height, and so they can choose which height they want to be underneath. The next 2 things that you'll need that are super important is you'll need some type of feed container and water container. So the feed container I bought was off of Amazon. I also got the brooder off of Amazon. The brooders are definitely more expensive than the heat lamps, but it's a really good option if you're concerned about safety. As for the feeder, I would recommend something that's meant for a chick. So the chicks are gonna wanna climb all over things and they'll actually poop in their food. So you have to make sure that you're keeping the food and water clean. So if you have something that has smaller holes, they can't scratch in there and then climb all over and poop. They still will get a little bit in there, but it's not to the extent that if you were just to have a bowl or something where they could climb all in it. So I definitely recommend this. Bought this on Amazon. And then some type of water. So this is also specifically meant for chicks, so the trough of it is actually a lot shallower than maybe what you would buy for a full-grown chicken, and the idea with that is that it's going to prevent the chick from drowning. So that's actually a very common thing where the chicks will dip their heads too low and then they drown themselves. So if you choose to use just a regular bowl or something, you're going to need to put some type of gravel or rock in there so that it keeps the chick from being able to put their whole head underneath the water. So these 3 things, the heat, the water, and the food, you have to have set up for when the chicks get there. The chicks have been traveling in the mail for 2 to 3 days, and they're severely dehydrated, they're hungry, and they're gonna need warmth. They're definitely gonna be shivering and chilly. So make sure you have all those things set up for when the chicks get there. Another thing that I did with my water is I put in an electrolyte and a probiotic. So this is the electrolyte that I purchased, and I did the same thing, same brand but I also brought a probiotic. So this will help prevent the pasty butt, and this will help rehydrate them from traveling. So I definitely recommend getting these. I'm gonna actually try the apple cider vinegar next week. So overall, this is my setup. Like I said, make sure you have heat, food, and water, and you're good to go. Hey, so exciting news. The post office called me and they told me that my chicks are here. So I'm on my way now to go pick them up. I actually went to the post office yesterday to tell them that they had chips so that I could come and pick them up right now so they don't have to be in their little box for as long. So I'm really excited. I'm so excited. I'm shaking. It's a new journey for me, so it'll be fun. Okay, so I'm here. I have my mask on because, you know, coronavirus 2020, we're trying to flatten the curve, so making sure that I'm staying safe and keeping the other employees safe as well. So, I'm about to head in. The big unboxing. Here we go. Oh my goodness! Look at the babies! Oh my gosh.
Got them in a little nest.
They're so stinking cute. Hello, little babies. You're cold. Look at them gathering together. Oh. So when you get your chicks, at first, they're not really gonna know what to do. So my chicks, when I first got them, they were shivering because they were so cold. So we had to get them under the heat lamp right away. So the heat lamp, you wanna make sure to have this all set up before the chicks even get here. Now, as far as water and food goes, in order to help them find where the food was, I had to put my hand in here and I had to tap here with my finger, and then they learned to come and eat the food. So before I was doing that, they were trying to eat these pine shavings, and you don't want them to do that. So what I did to encourage them to eat the food was I actually got just a regular container lid and I put it out here, and I put some food on here like this, and then I came here and tapped, and then he popped out like that, wanting to eat. Now, as far as teaching the birds to drink the water, what you do is you just gently grab them, and you just dip their beaks in, just like that. And then once one learns where the water's at, then majority of the other ones will learn as well. So you can see here that they really like to eat off the container, and just by tapping, you can show them where the food is. So they're all really active right now. I had 3 criteria when picking my birds. I wanted them to be winter hardy birds, I wanted them to be relatively easy to handle and docile, and then the third was that I wanted them to be good egg layers. So in order for them to be good egg layers, I wanted them to be laying between 4 to 5 eggs a week. I picked 3 different breeds so that I would be able to see how they interact with one another and how they interact with humans and things, and be able to decide in the future, you know, which breeds I like the best. So as far as where I bought my chickens, I actually purchased all of my chickens online. So I bought my chickens off of mypetchicken.com. I found that they had a really helpful website that helped me determine what chickens would be best for me. So you could put in criteria, so for example, winter hardy, and then they would help you pick what chickens might be best for you. So I liked that about their website. I had also read some reviews and heard good things about it, so that's why I chose them. The one thing about ordering your chicks online is that you may have an order minimum. So for mypetchicken.com, they had an order minimum of 7 chicks for this specific area to deliver to. So that's part of the reason why I ended up getting as many chickens as I did. Originally we were thinking maybe 4 to 5 chickens, but 7 it is. So as far as what chickens I got, I picked 2 Rhode Island Reds, 2 Red Star, 2 Plymouth Rocks, and then to make the 7th, I bought an Easter egger. So the really cool thing about Red Stars is that they're actually sex-linked chicks. So when they're born a particular color, and that's how the person can identify them as being a hen rather than a rooster. So with the Red Stars, I'm guaranteed for those chicks to be hens, and that's what I'm looking for. One thing to keep in mind is that the hatchery cannot guarantee that every chick you get is going to be a hen, so you have to prepare for if you were to get a rooster as well. So if you know anything about roosters, every rooster needs so many hens. So hopefully, fingers crossed, mine are all hens, but the hatchery cannot guarantee that. Those are the breeds that I chose. Definitely go on their website and play around with the tool that they have and figure out what might work for you, and then do your own research as well. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you'll join me again next week for our update, and you'll get to see how big the chicks have gotten in just a week.